What's up, everybody? Finally got the head off. Few tips about this stuff. If you've never done a head gasket on a small block Chevy or small block Ford, don't attempt it on this thing. I love Fords. I'll be honest with you though. If you're not sure what you're doing, this might be a little hard for you. Had to rotate the motor top dead center, and on this thing, because it's a Windsor and has these stupid pressed on cam gears, had to take the whole front cover off. And if you've ever done a power steering pump on a 4.6, you know that one bolt's a real cocksucker to get at. It's right underneath the line. If these open and wrench for it, it's a pain in the ass. I hate it. It sucks. Finally, though, got this shit all torn apart. That head gasket looks fine. There's nothing wrong with the head gasket. I took the gasket off. Underneath it was just fine. That's just coolant right there from taking the head off. But that looks fine to me. I don't see nothing wrong with the head gasket at all. I looked at the head. And, yeah, I took the manifold off too. Believe it or not, the nuts came off, not the studs on some of them. Right there is the one that's bad. And I see nothing wrong with it. It's going to go to the machine shop because, I want to have these things looked over. I'm going to pull the cam out and all the valve train stuff out of this. I'm going to take it to the machine shop as a bare casting. See if they can find out if it's warped for me or cracked. This thing had such a bad leak that literally as soon as it heat up, all the coolant went straight down the oil pan. Overflow tank, so I filled it up full. Overflow tank was empty. I took all this stuff off. The only coolant that leaked out of it was when I pulled the head off, and the coolant in the head is what leaked out. Otherwise, no coolant came out. So all that's an oil pan. So it's a serious leak, and I feel like if the head gasket was bad, you'd definitely be able to see a noticeable break in it. Which has me thinking a warped head, and I'm kind of wondering if whoever had this last, if the intake manifold cracked, which if you know a 4.6, you know his intake's cracked where the crossover is. That's this thing right here. These are normally plastic from the factory. They crack and then they coolant. I'm kind of wondering if that cracked and the kid just kept driving it and then ended up warping the head. Because like I say, I mean, it's a serious leak. This thing just dumps coolant in that cylinder so fast. I mean, you can tell that's so nice and steam clean compared to like that one and stuff. I mean, they're all dirty. That thing's steam clean. One question for you guys. I don't know if you can see this or not. That says 0.50. I don't know anything about these pistons, but are these aftermarket pistons or are these stock pistons? Like, I don't know how to tell if these are stock or aftermarket. I just didn't know if they're, if this is board. I know if it's board 50 over, it'd be 0.050, not 0.50, but you can still see the cross hatches in there. Maybe you can't, but there's cross hatches in there still, you can see. And so, yeah, I got to order a timing set now. Plans for this now, since I have all this stuff taken apart, I'm going to pull that head off later on when I find out what's up with this side head. I had to do all this, by the way, just to pull this head off, to see if it was a head gasket or if the block indeed is actually cracked. So if you have a suspected head gasket on these, you got to basically pull everything off the top of the motor, valve covers, the intake, fuel rail, all that stuff like that, disconnect all the whole wiring harness has to come apart, and then you have to take the fan out, which you have to take the overflow tank out, take the fan out, to get the harmonic balancer tool on to be able to impact the harmonic balancer bolt out. Then you got to put the harmonic balancer tool on there to remove it. So that all has to come out. And then naturally, this nut broke off. So I had to grind that off, so I have to put a new stud there, but whatever. Timing curve bolts is a pain in the ass. So I ended up buying timing set, head gasket, head changing set. I'm going to take these heads to the machine shop and have them checked over and see if they're warped. If they're not warped, I am not really sure if there's internal crack in the head or something, but I got that checked out. I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to rotate the block back to check the cylinder number 1 to see if there's anything wrong with that. And then I'm going to end up putting cams in this. If this engine is any good. If this engine's junk, this will be coming out, and I have a Romeo in my storage I'll be putting in here in its place. So, but if this engine is still good, then it's going to need cams, a timing set. It's getting shorty headers because I'm not putting those stupid manifolds back on. So cams, shorty headers, off-road X-pipe. I'm going to put a different cap back on here. It's going to get the PI intake, not that crappy dormant piece of shit. It's also going to get a cold air intake on it. And a tuner, and then I want to put the nitrous express kit, the plate kit on here. If I can make 400 at the wheels, 450 crank, max the motor out, be happy with that. Use nitrous when I really need to race somebody, but just a nice cruiser car. I mean, I want to make it a nice car to drive. That's basically the plan. I laugh, though, because I'm in this little ass garage and doing all this work in this little garage. Literally ultra tiny. So you can do it too, trust me. If you have a small garage, yes, you can rebuild part of an engine in it. And for those who are saying, why didn't you just pull the motor out, you dumbass? Because. That's the only reason I can give you is because. Would have been nice to, but if it comes out, then it's getting rebuilt completely. And so here we are. So, you know, talking the shit talker down below if you think I should pull the motor out. Yeah, literally a few more bolts could have taken the whole damn motor out and built the motor right and rebuilt the whole thing. But that's what I don't have really right now. So, and truthfully, if I was going to rebuild this motor completely, I would just rebuild the one on my engine stand right now and rebuild that one. Then just R&R the engine and call it a day. Which might happen. I mean, truthfully, if this block is cracked while the motor's on the stand, I could always just take it apart and build that bottom end in there so it can handle some real power. Then throw a power adder at it. So we'll see how this goes. I'm really freaking hoping it's simply just a warped head and I can replace the head or have it machined or something simple. I'm hoping it's not a cracked block. I think what the guy was thinking about with the cracked block is, well, I don't know if you really can see this right now, but the AC compressor is cracked right there. And I kind of wonder if that's what he thought was the block from up top. Because that has a crack and the AC compressor is seized anyway, so I can replace that piece of shit, but whatever. But yeah, so if you have a 462 valve and you want to try and do heads or head gaskets or something, it's a very in-depth process. I took lots of pictures, video, stuff like that. By the way, when you pull the head off, it's a pain in the ass, and it is heavy as shit, just so you know. These 2 head bolts will not come out. They hit right here. When you pull the head off, you have to pull these bolts out as far as it will go. Otherwise, when you go to move it, they get stuck in here and you can't move the head. So, if I had a second person, it'd be a lot easier or more space. But these 2 middle ones down below, these 2 right here, those ones you have to pull them out, but you can't get them out all the way. So when you go put your head back on, make sure you have those 2 in the head and not waiting to put them in there. Also, if you do head studs, you can't do it with the motor in the car unless you put the head studs in after the head's already on. You couldn't put the head studs in and then the head on. You had to put the head on first on the dowels and then put the head studs in, tighten those down, and do the nuts. Just a helpful tip. So yeah, this is the fun I'm having. Also, I forgot the coolant comes out down there, so I made a big ass freaking mess in my garage. So yeah, this is a project that becoming more and more fun every day, and I got this going. Got my green truck. I'm doing the rear end in that right now. I'm hoping to finish that today. Well, it's like 3 in the morning right now, so later today when I wake up. Got the 3 valve. We're fucking rebuilding that whole car completely. I got my brown truck. I'm working that slowly, but that engine's half torn apart. One of them's half torn apart. So I got like several projects going on. So yeah, it's real fun having 8 vehicles. This is my retirement. I'm just, putting it straight into this car and the trucks and the other cars, because why would I want to retire? What fun is that? I'd rather just work my whole life and just enjoy my cars. So just kidding. Don't be me. Don't buy 8 vehicles. Buy one, build it, then buy a second one and build that, and then buy a third one and build that. Don't buy 8 projects at one time and take half of them apart and then, have half torn apart engines and shit sitting. Unless you want to. That's what I like to do. I like having a challenge. So I'll stop talking now because I'm just kind of rambling. I'm tired. I'm very, very tired. Also, happy Thanksgiving. Today is Thanksgiving 2020, so yeah. I'm going to go to bed. Thanks for liking this video. Thanks for subscribing. If you're not, I'd appreciate if you did. Not going to force you, obviously. Have any questions, comments, concerns, hit me up. Talk to you guys later. Bye.